Welcome to the Forgotten ECE, the show where before and after school educators, summer camp and PD staff, and CYWs have a place where they are seen, heard, and valued. I'm your host, Jamie Wagler, and I am so excited you're here. Welcome to the Forgotten EC. I'm so excited today because I have Amanda Lucier here, who's a registered early childhood educator with over 14 years experience in the field. For the last 8 years, she served as a supervisor of a busy center, providing care for children from infancy all the way to school age. Her journey began as an assistant, and she worked her way up to her current role. She says that her current role that allows her to witness and contribute to the evolving landscape of childcare. She's a dedicated individual to creating nurturing environments that support children's growth and development, while also advocating for positive change within our childcare system. Welcome, Amanda.
Hello. I'm so excited.
This has been a long time coming. Amanda and I have been talking for a while, getting her on the podcast, so this is so exciting.
This is super huge. I'm super excited. Thank you for having me.
No, oh my God, my pleasure.
It's like when you finally meet somebody in the flesh, you're like, oh my God, you are real.
Absolutely. So close. And then soon it'll be going out for coffee or something.
Bro, you never know. I love it.
So we're just going to talk to Amanda. We're going to talk to you about your journey in before and after school programs, and then what that transition looked like to the supervisor role, and then your concept of the Forgotten EC to end off the day.
Alrighty.
So I'll jump in and then just ask some questions, and then feel free to cut in. And if the conversation goes aloof, that's okay. All right. Can you share your experience working in before and after school programs? How did you first get started in this field?
I have been working in this field, like you said, the past 14 years. I started as an assistant with the company that I work for now. Oddly enough, the before and after school program thing was always something to me. I grew up in before and after school care myself, and my director is my aunt. And so it was just a natural transition to kind of fall into that assistant when it came time for me to look for jobs. And at that time, right, you're 16, 17, you're young, you don't really want to work all day. So before and after school seems like glorious. I was able to still do stuff in the middle of the day. However, had that, interaction in the morning. It's kind of just blossomed from there. I am a people person. I love to engage. I love children. And I decided, you know what, maybe it's something I should invest in. I didn't really know what I wanted to do after high school. And so, yeah, it just progressed from there. I put myself through school. I did the loyalist route. I completed the program in a year and a half. I just buckled down working before and after school hours as an assistant, did my schooling in between, did my placements in between my shifts, which was really awesome because before and after school gave you that ability.
Hold on, I'm going to cut you off. Like a year and a half, you did the whole program in a year and a half?
A year and a half on loyalist, yeah, man.
That's amazing.
Like the one thing about that was because we worked before and after school hours, doing the apprenticeship program, you don't get enough hours. Even in the 3 years to complete it, you wouldn't have enough hours. So you have to have I had to get a letter from my director stating this is what I work on a consistent basis, and feasibility wise, this is not going to happen. However, the plan is to continue to work, and that's what I did. And they accepted the letter, and a year and a half, I was done. And so I stayed with my company. I worked as an RECE in the classroom and decided that at one point I was worth more. I thought, you know what, before and after school, I'm good. I can do more than this. I want to work full day hours. I took a leave of absence from my position and I went to the school board, found out I was pregnant in the interim, and did my 9 months with the school board and went on maternity leave. In order to come back to work, you don't have to put this in there, but I'm just going to keep rambling because it's
no, you're doing great. Keep going.
So I went on mat leave, and I didn't really want to go back to the school board. It just wasn't my thing. I don't like, hopping school to school. There was no real consistency as an educator. It just wasn't my flow. So I applied for a supervisor's position with my current company, and I got it.
Yay.
The downfall, it was 45 minutes from home. And working before and after school hours while working, like being 45 minutes from home isn't really feasible for anybody. However, I made it work and took on extra roles that would give me some more hours in between. And that way I just stayed in the town that I was working in. Fast forward 10 years almost, and we are the biggest center within our company, the 182 licensed spots. I house a staff of 16, and I would not change anything about it.
Oh my gosh, there's so much you said there. Like, first of all, the fact that you made it work, because that's huge for especially for before and after school educators. It's so hard, and I talk about this lots about how it's so broken that these amazing educators are in before and after school programs, but they have to work around this split shift, that there has to be some kind of give. But you made it work, and look at you now.
I know. Now I work all day, right? A full 8-hour shift. But I am the first one to advocate before and after school. That is all I know. I would never have changed. I tried to change the path, right? And it didn't work for me. And there's a different sense of, I don't even know how to explain it with before and after school children. It's just a different level of connection with them that you don't get maybe possibly from an 8-hour day shift. I don't know. It's just, I'm pro before and after school hours. So that's what we need.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And you're absolutely right.
Your podcast is like the whole point of it. We're digressing, but the whole point of it, I totally grasp. And it's the voice that everybody needs. Like, it's what we need. Like, this is exactly what before and after school educators need in order to get us where we need to be. Like, this is what's going to start it. I love that you're doing this, dude. Because there's not enough for before and after school educators. There isn't. And your podcasts have definitely helped inspire my other educators in the field. So 1000%.
Oh, that's so sweet. No, I love it. And that's exactly what I started, and why I started. And because these educators, like, they're special people to work in a before and after school program and deal with all and I say this lightly, but like the crappy shift, the splits, the attitudes and stuff. But the kids, they're so worth it. And you don't want them to miss out on these experiences that they can have with amazing staff and educators.
Exactly. It's the experiences that they can have. That is perfectly said. Perfect. Okay.
Wow. So over the years, all of these amazing things you've done, and like you have different experience with before and after school, or with school age in general, because you worked in the school board. Have you noticed any key changes in like these programs or the children or the policies that relate around school age programs?
I can say that in the last 14 years I've worked plus in childcare, the need for care is prevalent. It's getting more prevalent as the next generations have children. So the level of care has changed. I would say policies, I wouldn't notice much change in them. There are some things that, have made a difference in programs for before and after school. COVID really did a number on us, right? With policies, a lot changed during then. And so keeping those same policies that we used during COVID, but then trying to revert back to old policies, I feel like we're kind of like in the middle of,
Yeah, no, exactly. The COVID definitely threw a number on everything.
Yeah. And now that parents are going back to work, I find obviously care is needed way more than it was before. And yeah, I live in a small town, and our town is subdivision galore they're building. And so we're having out of town people move into town. And I have been trying, I have the rooms, but I was trying for 2 additional rooms for the last year and a half to house an additional 50 kids.
Yeah.
And those spots were already taken based off the wait list we had. Like, it's just intense.
So your wait list for before and after school, it's crazy too?
My wait list for before and after school currently goes into 2027. And my learning center, so my infancy through to preschoolers, we're looking at 2028 for the preschool room in general. And toddler and infant, you're about a year out.
Wow. And so here I'm in Southern Ontario. We run, our wait list is like managed by the city. Like is it yours the same?
One HSN.
Yes.
So we have one HSN. Yeah. So this is the thing though. I think everybody uses one HSN in a different aspect in terms of their wait list. I've always used the wait list, one HSN as my second source. Like, I always take phone calls first, and then I'll go to one HSN to correlate if they've signed up or not.
Yes.
In leave any center a call
giving any centric call and asking that way.
What unique aspects of school age or before and after school do you find most rewarding or challenging?
So we all know as educators that before and after school hours aren't the best. So right now, currently, we are struggling to find staff for those hours. I think that's the same across the board. Majority of educators I find right out of school don't think that our positions are worth their while. Yeah, that's the main challenge. In terms of reward, the connection we have with our children, it's a different connection, right? We see them in the morning at the beginning of their day when they're hyped up and they're ready to go. They go to school, things transpire during the day. We might get in trouble. We might have a rough day. And sometimes we come to after school care and we're miserable and we just need that educator there to comfort. And so I think the most rewarding is being that before and that after for that child, because we can help them through at any point. Yeah, I think before and after school just gives you a different aspect in terms of the connection, everything. Dude, I love before and after school.
I feel the same way. Like I do. And I agree. And I think it's also important, like, that when they come to after school, whether they had a crappy day at school, it doesn't, like, their day starts over with you. Like it's right. You don't take anything that happened at school into your program and you're like, yeah, like it's a fresh start. Don't worry about the day.
Exactly. I love it.
Amazing.
Hopefully I'm answering these questions okay.
You're doing a great job. Amanda, I love you. You're doing amazing. Absolutely.
So I'm very, hard on myself, evidently.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm here to not be hard on you, so you're good.
Yeah, challenging is staffing. Staffing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Staffing, it is hard. And like I'm finding, I don't know if you're finding the same in a supervisor role, because we're going to get into the supervisor role, but in a supervisor role, it's hard to evaluate the staff that are coming in. And like, I know the licensing just changed so that you don't need RECE in these programs. You could have a child and youth worker or recreation staff, but it's not like they didn't expand our applications.
That's not good for us, right? That's not okay for us. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it didn't expand our applications. It's not like we're having more qualified staff like in these other areas come in and apply. We're still having no one. And the people that apply, no offense, are just not a little offense, are just not, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't. And that's the problem.
Absolutely. Okay. So you kind of talked about it already, but I'll just re-ask, like, what motivated you to transition into a supervisory role?
So as a human being, you probably shouldn't put this in there, but I like control. I chose to go into the supervisory role to learn more as an educator, to learn that side of being an RECE, because being in the classroom, you hop from room to room, be it kindergarten or primary, junior 1 or 2. But I wanted to learn more. I wanted to understand policies. I wanted to know more in-depth procedures. I want to be the one that people come to for help. I love when my staff lean on me. That's what I'm there for. If I can go into the classroom at any point of the day and help alleviate some of that pressure or that worry, I'll do it for them. I participate in before and after school programs as it is. I'll go into the classroom myself. We know ministry guidelines don't allow supervisors to be in classrooms with so much staff, but you'll see my face in those rooms every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love being the one that's responsible for everything. I love the responsibility of staff and schedules and everything.
No, that's great. And it sounds like you utilize this time too, because then you get to be in all the classes. Like you pop in and you say hi, and you check in on the staff, and I
play.
Yeah.
I try to be as present as I can.
Which is not always easy. I'm talking from
experience. No, it's not. Not when you run a big center. It's definitely not. But if I can help support them in some aspect, then that's really what I have to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then as a supervisor, how do you ensure that your educators feel value and like as if they're an integral part of the team? So like I hear you saying you pop in, which is already incredible, because I know there's centers that don't, like the supervisors stay in the office and
popping in. Yeah, you see frustration on a staff's face. You just, go take your time. Morning coffee drop off is a hit in our center. Just valuing the staff any which way, I find is what's making my team more wholesome. I've done a lot of learning myself this past year in terms of teamwork. And I'm realizing my role as a supervisor, maybe what I wasn't doing prior that would make my team not feel as valued or integral parts. But I would like to say this year I've made major strides, and I would hope my staff would say the same thing. I need that tissue paper and we don't have any. I'll see you in a couple. I'm going to run to the store. I'm going to go grab it with my money and we will get it back. Yeah, just anything I can do to help alleviate something from them.
Absolutely. And in a sense, like, and I'm not downplaying, because like the Forgotten EC is about all educators, which we'll talk about, but obviously a big part of my heart is before and after school. But supervisors, in a supervisor role, it's hard sometimes to remember that we are also RECEs, and like that's where our heart is. Like my heart is with the children. It's not like I'm the same way. I love the aspects of control. I love the aspects of having people rely on me, and I love the aspects of being that person. But like my heart is with the children. Yes. I was an EC on RECE first, and I will always be an RECE.
In my mind, I say that the staff do the integral part, which is the documentation, the expansion of learning. But we as supervisors, we're the ones who play. We get to enjoy the play with them. Yes. So that is the greatest part of being a supervisor.
It is. It so is. And making, I don't know if you're run by a board of directors or if you're a standalone, like what?
We're a board of directors.
Us too. Okay. Us too. The amount that you put into advocating for your center and your staff and how to support your educators, like there's just a lot of support. I'm not just saying that about like I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like in general, there's not a lot of support for educators, and they're feeling it. Like look at Toronto right now with all the staff going on strikes and all the protests and stuff. Like there's crazy things happening because of a lack of support, and we just need supervisors work so hard to make their educators feel like they're supported.
That's so true. That resonates so well with me.
We're fighting an endless battle, but we're putting our heart and soul into it.
Yeah, I find myself like in like group discussions, I find myself that I cry a lot. Just it ends up being because I'm just so passionate about our field. And like you asked me this years ago as an educator, I'd be like, meh, whatever. But for some reason over the past little while, it's just like drive has driven like just to make us better. I don't know. Like I said to someone, we are the foundation for every little kid. Like we are the ones they start with. We build their foundations for the teachers in JK and grade 1 to grow on top of. We are the reason that they are the way they are. And why not invest in educators in order to get that positive outcome, right?
No, you gave me goosebumps. You're 100% right though. Like this is it. Like, okay, the engineer working on the what engineers do, the architect building buildings, all these people started as a child, and someone had to build this foundation.
And that was that. Well, I mean, it wasn't us, but it was those old people who were ahead of us.
Absolutely. It was educators.
Yeah, that's what drives me mad. It drives me. I just don't. And like everybody says, you hate hearing the word babysitter. I you know what? At this point, when someone says, "Oh, it's like a babysitter," I said, you know what? It very well is, because that babysitter sometimes is with your kids more than you are.
Yes. I was just having this conversation. It's so funny that you said that. I was just having this conversation with a parent. Like they don't understand. Like we have their child sometimes from infant, toddler, preschool, school age. And then all of a sudden they just disappear. They just go. They go on to a next school. They move. They have the audacity to leave us. And then no one comes back to check. But I was a part of that life for so long. Like it's heartbreaking.
I sent a text to a parent this week because we had Halloween within the school. The school participates with us, and instead of taking our kids like out trick-or-treating, we do it inside of our school.
Oh.
And one of our kids that we're helping hand out candy is a grade 8, and we've had him since he was 4 years old. And I tell you right now, when this man opened the door, I could see this little boy from 7 years ago opening the door as a JK. It was like a flashback, and it was this family I am best friends with now outside of, the 4 work walls. But it was such an epiphany, like it gave me chills and I cried instantaneously. And he's like, "Why are you crying, Miss Amanda?" I'm like, "Lukey, you have no idea what seeing you right now does to me, because I know what you've come through. Like I know you're there. Yeah. You're there." I don't know. I love
I do too. We're preaching.
This is why we just need to take on the world.
We do. We really do.
Could you imagine?
Yes.
That'd be so good.
ECE should obviously run the country. I'm just saying.
Well, we do start. We do. And that's what's terrible about our field, is that it's just not, we could be so much more.
Okay.
That's
so good. I love talking to you. Okay, so what strategies have you found effective in fostering a sense of inclusion and support for your educators, especially those who work non-traditional work hours, such as before and after school? Or
So, like I said before, frequent check-ins with my educators are what I find highly effective. We use like a group communication app. So if they're not, obviously before and after school is not there during the day. Let's say there's a kid call in or there's a change in the schedule. A simple message in this little group chat sometimes fosters a massive group chat into how we can maybe help this afternoon or who's good where, or maybe if we shuffle this kid here. Yeah. Having them be part of it because they work so little hours, having them have as much input as they can within reason. I find it works great for my staff in fostering their inclusion, giving them the ability to plan their curriculum as they want to per their room. What resources do you provide? Any resource I can.
Yep.
I mean, any resource we are given as educators, I will let my fellow educators know. So, using our local, we have some places within our, Essex County that give us the ability to use die cutting machines or lamination, giving them those options that maybe they won't know of. Again, fosters that inclusion for them and that classroom.
Oh no, I love that. Yeah, I know, because it's easy to quite literally forget the before and after school educators, but it sounds like you like including them in those messages and understanding even team building and stuff. Like I know there's been times that I'm like, oh yeah, they're like my team messaged me and like, hey, so and so didn't show up today. I'm like, oh yeah, like their mom messaged me, I forgot to tell you. So I started doing the same thing where I message in the morning like, okay, this is the message that I have so that I don't forget to tell you, and that you feel like you're included and that you know that you're not just standing there wondering what's the heck
going on. We do breakfast on paydays. Payday comes and before and after school staff will go for breakfast in town. So I'll sometimes take my lunch at that time, that earlier spot, just to have that hour with them, because truthfully, I would rather spend it with my employees than friends some days.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what we do as a group. We try to get outside of work to do things together. I would like to say I have a very strong team, and many of us have been together for the last 10 years. Like they've been my staff for 10 years plus. So yeah.
In itself, sorry to interrupt, but that in itself says a huge amount. Like that's amazing.
True. You're right. Okay, you're right. I downplay a lot, but
no, 10 years in our field in the same place at the same supervisor. That's really good.
I call them the OGs. There's two girls, OGs. Whenever we have conversations, it's the OGs and then everybody else.
I love it. Oh, amazing. And then how do you support continuous professional development with your team?
Providing them with whatever workshops or opportunities we have as educators. This year myself, I have done a lot of workshops, and I'll give them knowledge of workshops, podcasts, any form of resource we can have as educators. I have given them. And I find that helps a lot because it eliminates the work that they have to do when their work time is so short already.
No, it's nice when you can do those things, like if they join in together, so that everyone in your center is doing, that they don't feel like there's a disconnect, I guess is what I would say. Amanda, you're so awesome. All right, when you hear the term forgotten EC, what does it mean to you, and how does it resonate with your own experiences in the field?
So the first thing I think of is you and I, because that's what we do. We are forgotten as educators. Before and after school staff provide the same care, the same level of care as any staff that works a full day, 8-hour shift in an infant through preschool setting, right? I call my staff, or I call us in general, like behind the curtain people, because we do literally the brunt work. A lot of things are geared for full day learning versus before and after school, that be it workshops, that be it the jobs offered. Even what you learn in school, there's very small amounts of before and after school that educators are learning. And I think that needs to be addressed in order for maybe their idea of what will happen when they're done will change.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm glad you said that. It's so true. So on the side, I teach for an EC program, and the stuff I'm teaching, I'm like, also, this is how you connect it to before and after school, because I feel like it's so...
Yeah, you have to put it in. I concur with you. When I went to school, there was nothing on before and after school and the crucialness of it. But that just goes to show you exactly that we're forgotten.
It's true, because I can't speak for all programs, but a lot of programs, it's you're mandatory to take a preschool placement. You're mandatory to take toddler placement, or but it's suggested that you either take us before and after school or an infancy, like or kindergarten.
Yeah.
They're not mandatory.
They're not and they should be.
Amazing. And why do you think ECs may feel forgotten within the educational system? And what steps do you believe you can help address the feeling? You're right. This just all ties in together.
Yeah, it just ties into what we were saying, that the EC program just doesn't list much about that. I said it gives a false sense to brand new out of college educators. I said even this holds true to professional development. One of the biggest complaints from my educators is there's not enough workshops geared for staff who work in that role. I said that I think we should provide a term in school in the learning for before and after school and the benefits of working in a role as such. We're no different than full day. We're still valued by our parents. Our kids value us. Our principals that the schools we work inside value us, the teachers. There just needs to be more. There just needs to be more understanding of before and after. More so now than 10 years ago, because the need for care is prevalent everywhere throughout Ontario. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's so nice when someone just says what you're already thinking all the time. It's just like, ah.
It is. It absolutely is.
Because sometimes they don't know what they're talking about.
It's true. It's also true when you find that educators that are just using early childhood education as a stepping stone, bless their soul.
I hate that too.
But it's like, I get it, but come on. Like, oh, I want to be a teacher. Or, oh, I want to be a whatever. I just need the college degree. And I'm like, we are teachers.
I am no different. We are. Like, oh, yeah. I could rant about that all day.
Yeah, like how do you see the role of advocacy for before and after school educators evolving in the future? How do you see it, and what's your hope? I guess I would ask.
Well, we all know that we all hope that pay will increase. I think with pay, will come a higher level of want and care. What did I say? I would love to help in any aspects with the gear of change for before and after school educators. So like I said, myself this year, that was my goal, was to network outside of where I am. And I can say wholeheartedly, I did that this year. So making those networking connections, I think will also help us as before and after school educators, because like you and I right now, the connection we have and what we could probably produce together would be crazy.
Yeah.
And if everybody got on the same page, I think it would be advocacy enough itself seeing that. So
absolutely. And that's what this episode's going to do. It's you getting out and advocating, and then people are going to be like,
I'm so excited.
I love their vibe.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Amazing. And then the last question, it really just plays into everything. So I'm going to wrap it up with also anything else that you want to say. So what would you like people outside this field to understand about the challenges and dedication to ECs and before and after school programs? And is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you want to touch on?
Okay, one word that I want people to understand is that we're worthy.
Ooh.
We as educators are worthy.
That's a mic drop moment. Like that's a boom.
That's it. That's all I got is we're worthy. We're worthy. That's it.
Oh, I love that so much, Amanda.
That's the end. I have nothing else to say. I have nothing else to add. I think your questions were amazing, and yeah. I hope my answers were okay.
They were great. You did great. I'm literally leaving this with goosebumps because they were so good, because you have that passion. You cannot teach people passion. Passion is self-built.
That's so good. Oh my God, that was so good. That was good. That was so good placed in there. What a good. It's true. You can't. And somebody said this to me last week as I was having a meeting in a conversation, and someone said, in the last year, I've seen your passion come back for what you love. And I said, yeah. It definitely, all of a sudden in the last year and a half, I would say, yeah, for sure. The drive that I want better for all of us is just,
Oh, it has been such a pleasure, Amanda. Is there somewhere that people who are listening can reach out to you, join you the thing? Do you have an Instagram page you want to share or anything? Or
no, not really. Hopefully I'll be out there soon enough. I do have a little side business. Maybe I can plug that.
Please do.
It's called Sensory Sprouts. You can find us on Instagram. Actually, we are, if you go to Carla Ward's thing, are you going? You're going.
Carla Ward's thing? Yes, the experience, the EC experience. That was no.
Yeah, she had just posted about the next a sponsor that was our little business at Sensory Sprouts. So we're going to put little bags in, like filler bags for sensory bins. So hopefully that the educators there can go back and use those within their centers. So that's super huge for me. So check us out, Sensory Sprouts.
And what's your website or what's your Instagram?
It's at sensorysprouts_.
Deal. Oh my gosh, I'll plug it into our notes. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a new thing to come out of this year too. With all the things that are changing. Yeah, that was another little thing that started, a girlfriend and I, and it's just taken off.
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you coming?
Yep.
You're going to be there?
Hence why I'm even more excited to touch you in the flesh.
Oh my God, I can't even. Oh my God, you just made my whole life that much better.
I'm telling Carla, let's go out for dinner on the Friday night. I want everyone to go out for dinner if people want to meet.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
Yeah,
oh my God,
I'm coming up early Friday. I took the day off work and I'm coming up early.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Amazing listeners for your support. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MissJamie_RECE. Give a star rating and leave a review. Have something you want to hear about in relation to before and after school programs or full day summer camp? DM me or comment. Again, thank you so much and happy learning.